welcome to Our Kids Today. My name is Becky Bennett. I'm the Director of Development with Pasco Kids First. And today we're joined by Missy Coyle, who is the chairman for the Pasco Safe Kids Coalition. Welcome, Missy.
Thanks for having me, Becky.
Absolutely.
Nice to be here today.
Pasco Kids First has worked with Missy and the Safe Kids Coalition several times, most recently with our Family Fun Day, and we're hoping to have you back for our 10th annual Family Fun Day coming up in November.
Yes, we are planning on being there. That'll be awesome. It's always a great turnout to work with you guys on that.
Great. So tell us a little bit about Pasco Safe Kids.
So Pasco Safe Kid is actually made up of 5 councils within the Tampa Bay area. And Safe Kids Florida Suncoast is actually affiliated with Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. We are led by Safe Kids Florida Suncoast, Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, and is affiliated with Pasco or with Safe Kids Worldwide, which is an organization that's national, and they focus more on injury prevention to children.
And I understand there are several different areas of focus within the prevention.
There are. We focus on heat stroke, child passenger car seat safety, teen driving, medication safety, fire, burns related to scalding, and also drownings and near drownings.
And how does the coalition accomplish addressing all of those very important topics?
The coalition, basically, we unite all the key partners that we feel would be important to our cause, and we invite emergency responders, educators, local agency, civic organizations. It's pretty much open to the entire community.
One of the topics you mentioned was heat stroke, and I just saw a press conference and an article in the Tampa Bay Times that there's already been 2 child deaths due to heat stroke in 2017.
That is correct. Unfortunately, Becky, both of those were in Florida. In 2016, across the U.S., we had 39 altogether. It's super important to understand heat stroke. Another word for heat stroke would be hyperthermia, and that's when the body temperature reaches above 104 degrees. And at that point, we have to remember that at 104 degrees, some of our signs and symptoms would be the dry skin, fatigue, vomiting, seizures, and it can lead to the organs shutting down. With that, also, we have to remember that children under the age of 5 are unable to regulate their body temperature.
And what are some of the dangers with heat stroke?
A lot of the dangers that we're looking at data-wise now is 50% of children are left in cars unintentional, so it's accidental. Mm-hmm. And with those dangers, we have to remember that children can become trapped in cars, which is most likely the reason for heat stroke. And car temperatures can rise from, in 10 minutes, 19 degrees. Wow. It actually has like a greenhouse effect in a vehicle, so even if the windows are down, does no good whatsoever. The longer the time lapses, the higher the temperature rises in the car and can cause more damage to the child.
Some of the tips are about trunk safety with children.
Yes, we like to make sure that parents are informed to make sure all car doors are locked. We want, even if you don't have children and you're a neighbor, because your other neighbor may have a car, always lock your car doors, because children like to play in different areas, and if they find an unlocked car, they may try to actually get in that car, and if they become trapped in the car, as we were talking about, the greenhouse effects takes place, and the child could suffer a heat stroke. We also try to educate on parents and caregivers, educating children that trunks are for cargo space only and not for, playing in. We also like to teach the acronym ACT, which is ACT, and the ACT stands for to avoid leaving your child in a car whatsoever at all, not even for a second.
So ACT.
So ACT.
That's easy to remember.
Mm-hmm. The A would be, to avoid, never leave your child in a car. And then the C would be to create reminders. And some of those reminders can be as simple as actually just putting your purse in the back seat of the car if you're transporting a child in a car seat. If you are transporting a child, you could also leave a phone, a briefcase. I personally, what I find works best is take off one shoe. We're not getting out of a car and going into a place with one shoe on. So if my shoe is in the back seat of the car, I'm always going to open that back door and see my child is there or someone else's child. Like I said earlier, 50% of heat stroke deaths with children being left unattended in cars is accidental. It's we're distracted. It could be lack of sleep. Just out of our normal routine, that can cause a lot of things.
And parents have so much going on in their mind, thinking what their schedules are going to be like, what their children's schedules are going to be like. They're tired, and
most of the time we find that just being out of your normal routine. It could be, mom usually drops off the child and dad's dropping off the child today, or vice versa. Or maybe it's an aunt, a grandmother, a sister. They're not used to that. So anything out of the normal routine can create that effect where we get distracted and forgetful. So the T would lead us to take action. So anytime we see a child that is left in a car, we recommend always calling 911. So emergency personnel are trained to respond to those situations immediately. And so if we remember just to avoid leaving children in cars, create reminders for ourselves no matter who we are, and always take action. So that's why we use the acronym ACT.
Oh, great. Those are some awesome tips for parents and just the general community to know about heat stroke, and especially here in Florida when it's so hot.
Definitely. Florida is super hot, and we do see this happen yearly. I can't remember a year that there's been 0 car deaths in Florida. But the good thing is all of these heat strokes that either cause death or actually cause trauma to a child are totally preventable. We just need to use the avoid, the create reminders, and also take action.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me today, Becky. It was nice to come and see you.
Thank you for watching Our Kids Today. To learn more about Pasco Kids First, visit pascokidsfirst.org.